Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm host Faven. I use she, they, they pronouns, and I am so excited for today's video. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate you, and let's get into today's video. So today is a reading wrap up for the month of May. I managed to read finish 4 books. I actually was reading a bunch of them, but I didn't finish them. And I didn't want to force myself to try to finish as many books this month, so I finished 4, and I am going to tell you about them in this video. If you want to see any more of my videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you're notified when I upload. And before we begin, I do want to plug my social medias. I have a TikTok where I post fun videos, an Instagram where I post fun pics, a Twitter where I post fun retweets. I also have a Goodreads where I post fun book reviews, and a Pinterest where I post fun boards, all linked in the description box down below. If you want to give me a follow, thank you in advance. And now, let's get into today's video. So, this month I'm trying something new. I'm going to read the blurb directly from Amazon, the Kindle app, and I'm going to give my general thoughts on it. I'm going to try to keep the reviews short because I do read a lot of books, then I don't have to spend have a 40-minute video for 10 books or something. So I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible. And yeah, also I tried to read a lot of physical copies of books, and this month I was just really focused on ebooks, and so I haven't picked up a physical book this month. I just haven't, and I'm gonna try to do that. If I change, I'm still filming this because it's not the end of the month yet. If I do end up reading a physical book, I will say that I finished one. But I haven't been reading them this month, and so I just been reading ebooks. A lot of them aren't library books either. So yeah, they're just on the Kindle app. So the first book I finished this month was The Doms, Hostess by Michelle Love. It is a secret baby romance. It says so on the cover. But yeah, so if you don't like that, you're not going to want to read this book, or you're going to want to skip that part. But yeah, I'm going to read the blurb, or parts of it. I am a man of order, control. I like things the way I like them, and with the amount of might and power I have, that's never an issue. Until I met Nova Blankenship, the tempting hostess at the tropical resort I'm staying at. The more I tried to break down her barriers to own her body and soul, the more I realized that in the end she might be the one owning me. I did skip some to save time, but I really enjoyed this book. It's really cute, it's really fun. It's a nice short read. I feel like it's a good summer read, because it is on a tropical island, and they go on a boat. There's definitely boats involved. But it was really cute. It wasn't overly spicy, I would say, on the scale. It did include some BDSM aspects, but not really in depth or anything too kinky. So I would say it's about 3 out of 5 for me. Maybe 2.5 out of 5. It was really, I think, more of a cute read than a more BDSM read, a darker read. But yeah, I gave the book overall 3 stars. Had fun reading it. Just not a game changer. A lot of books aren't game changers. They're just fun reads, and that's kind of how I feel about most books that I read. They're just fun, and if I finish it, I mostly enjoyed it. So the second book I finished this month was The Billionaires Princess by Ava Ryan. It is a Fairy Tale Billionaires. Like, this is a series. And it is about, pull up the blurb. A billionaire player craves the one woman he can't have, an icy British princess. So Friday nights I have a routine, drinks with my brothers, maybe a casual hookup later. Then the ice princess walks into the bar and it's game over for me. So she is the princess of, the UK in this universe, and he's not actually officially a billionaire, I don't think, in the book. I think he's trying, that's his goal, is to get to that point, that level of status. So he's not technically a billionaire, but he's like very close to reaching that goal. Like, the deal that he's working on in the book is trying to push him over to that point, but he's not actually a billionaire in this book. But I still like the book. I gave it 3 stars. Fun read. I liked their dynamic. It's very cute, and this book says it's a feel-good and guaranteed happy endings, and it's fairy tale. It's like, yeah, who would have read that? Loved it. 3 out of 5 stars. So the third book I finished in the month of May was The Playmaker by Cathryn Fox. It is a hockey romance, and it is about a writer who needs to learn about hockey in order to write a hockey romance series. And so she enlists the help of her brother's best friend to help her. And they didn't like each other growing up because he made fun of her. She perceived him as making fun of her, but it wasn't really what happened. And so during this time where she's learning about hockey, they also enter an entanglement where they work through all of that tension that they had growing up. Now, I really enjoyed this book. I really liked seeing, oh my god, I really enjoyed this book. I really liked their dynamic and the writing. I liked that, like, this might be spoilery, I don't know, that they liked each other, but because of like her thinking that he was making fun of her as a kid, just like completely switching around and just like hating his guts because like he would always call her that like nickname and she didn't really like it. And he started, like, once he noticed that it had an effect on her, he would use it all the time, kind of thing. And them just like kind of like working through all of that and spending a lot of time together because she would stay at his house because he had a concussion. And so like they just like kind of, it wasn't really forced proximity, but they did spend a lot of time together. She stayed at his house, and then just kind of like, first it was like one night because they had like been drinking, but then just kind of like stayed for a while he was like recovering from his concussion. And then I don't know, it was just like really cute. I gave it 4 stars because I really liked it. My favorite sports romances to like read are hockey, and it's because I know nothing about hockey, and I like knowing nothing about hockey because going into it, it's not really hockey based, but there was like hockey terms thrown around in there, and I don't remember any of them, but there's like hockey terms, but I don't like have any preconceived like notions about the sport. I'm just reading it for like the romance and stuff, and I do like reading like other sports as well, but that one's like my favorite sport to read about because I know nothing about it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. And if you want to read a hockey romance, definitely check it out. So the 4th and final book I finished in the month of May was Crave by Piper Lawson. And I'm going to read the blurb for you. Ex-ballet dancer Olivia would never set foot in a club like Velvet, not to mention seize the stage. But when she learns her perfect boyfriend has been cheating, she indulges in a wild fantasy for the first time. From the moment Sawyer rescues her in the parking lot at the club, Olivia realizes he's what she's been missing. The way he touches her sets her on fire. But one mistake becomes two when she learns Sawyer isn't only the passionate, mysterious man she stayed up all night with, he's her new professor. Okay, so it is a professor-student romance, and if that's not your thing, you're not going to want to read this. But yeah, I gave it 3 stars. While I did like the book, I don't really like when books kind of don't follow like my brain's like chronological events, or if something ultimately happens between 60 and 80% that and then is resolved by the end of the book. I don't really like it when it doesn't follow that and you're spending the entire time wondering, because it's a professor-student romance, and they usually get caught kind of thing, that the climax doesn't happen until the last page. And so because that happens on the last page, I'm spending between 70% to the end wondering when they get caught, if they get caught, and it doesn't happen, and I'm just like freaking out. And so that's like my thing. I don't really like books when they have the climax at the end of the book, because it just stresses me out, because I'm enjoying the book until then. It's just that I'm just waiting for like, and in certain like tropes, I'm waiting for the thing that ultimately happens in that trope to happen, and it doesn't until like the credits are about to roll up, and I don't enjoy that. And there was also something else I didn't really like in the book, but I don't remember what it was. I couldn't tell you what it was. But yeah, that is all I finished in the month of May. So I haven't done this since January, but I want to kind of bring it back, especially since I may have finished like 4 books. I didn't, like, there are books that I didn't like finish in the month, and I'm going to like kind of tell you why in this little segment. So there is Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. People were like raving about it, or like talking about how much they loved it on Book Talk, and I was like, cool, let me check it out. Did I read what it was about beforehand? No. And I waited like a few weeks before I could get to it, and then when I got it, I was like, I have no interest in reading this. So I waited a few days, see if I changed my mind. I didn't, and I returned it because I was like, I don't really feel like reading this, because it was like a summer read, and I'm just like, summer's coming. I didn't want to read that. Maya Banks in His Keeping. I started that in April, but had to like return it and then get it back because someone else wanted to read it, and I couldn't just like keep reading it. And so I'm kind of like, I've had it for a couple weeks, and because they kind of disrupted my reading of the book, I'm kind of like haven't gotten back into reading it. The Legacy by Elle Kennedy, that's like the ending of a series, and I really like the first book, and so reading that kind of like, it's like 4 different stories in it, just like wrapping up their stories, would be kind of weird because I didn't read the whole series. I didn't know that at the time. I kind of just like, I know Elle Kennedy's books, but I didn't read all of them, so I had to stop reading that once I found out about that. The Witch's Heart by Genevieve Gornick. I can't really see the whole name. I started reading that in April. I had to return it because someone wanted to read it, and then I got it back, and I literally, because I already was reading a bunch of different books, I didn't pick it up again until I haven't picked it up yet, but I hope to finish it in June. Now, books that I own that I didn't finish, that I plan to finish in the month of June. The Dark Elite by Eva Ashwood. It's a mafia romance. I am at 90%, so I'm almost finished that one. I just didn't want to force myself to finish more books in the month of May. I'm just like, I'm doing things. It's okay to not finish books in that month. You can finish in another month. It's not a race. So I didn't finish that one. And Touchdown Baby by Tabitha Kiss, at 20%. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I wasn't feeling it or what. It is one of my favorite kind of things, like the forbidden, like you're not supposed to be seeing him kind of thing. But I just haven't picked it up. It's also a sports romance. It's college romance, sports romance, and forbidden romance, and football romance, if that is like your thing. And so that one I'm going to be trying to read unless something else comes up. We have Treachery's Devotion by Marie Carr and Lila DuBois. Didn't finish that one. I don't know if I'll finish it in June because it kind of was more like a mystery kind of thing, and that's not really my thing. But it's like FBI kind of thing, but it's not in FBI like America. It's like FBI in Italy. So I don't know if I'll finish that this month. And that. Oh, and Torment by Angela Devine and Tracy Lorraine. That one I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it in June. We'll see. But yeah. And that one's like a dark romance. So yeah, those are all the books I didn't finish in the month of May, but may finish in the month of June, hopefully. That is all for today's video. I didn't finish that many books in May, but I am learning to accept that. I actually picked up a new hobby that I kind of have like in my background now. See all the stuff I made. So I picked a new hobby up in May. So that's cool. Didn't really focus too much on trying to finish books. If I finished a book, and yeah. And so like I am almost halfway done my reading goal. I've changed it from 100 to 50, and if I surpass it, then great. And it's like the halfway mark in the year, so I'm doing good, I would say. But yeah, that is all for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up if you like. Subscribe if you want to hit the bell notifications so notified when I post. I try to upload twice a week. My social medias are all linked in the description box down below. Want to give me a follow. And until next time, drink some water, eat a snack, play with your toy, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye!